The findings of this channel are based on soul meditation and soul psychology, not spirit meditation and spirit psychology. If you find anything interesting, please subscribe. The history of humanity is 3 million years old. There's been a lot happening in 3 million years. There's a lot of migration. There's a lot of immigration going on. The names of land have changed 100 times over 3 million years. There's no sacred country here. There's no sacred race here. Most of us are made up of many races. You go and study your ancestry, you will find you're 20% black, 50% white, and 10% Spanish, and 8% Indian. I mean, we are multiracial humans, all of us. There is no such thing as a pure white person. There's no such thing as a pure black person. There's no such thing as a pure Italian person. We're all mixtures. There's been a lot of interracial marriage over 3 million years. So pride in one's race is kind of being stupid to one's own self, basically, because we are a product of 3 million years of evolution, right? We all humans come from poor immigrants. All of us come from poverty. Nobody is born into wealth. In terms of somebody had to build that wealth. If there's a rich kid, his father or his forefather was poor and built that wealth. Wealth is built through work, through enterprise, or through jobs to make money. Money is built by somebody. Even Donald Trump comes from poor immigrant family. He comes from Germany. His forefathers, the mother was a maid, and the father had a little convenience store. So you know, the tradition of wealth in the Trump family is built on work. The same kind of event that can come to any poor immigrant. When in the Statue of Liberty, at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, it says to give me your poor or tired poor, your huddled masses, send me your homeless people. This is the basis of the wealth of the United States. You know, the basis of wealth is poverty. Basically, poor people work and get out of poverty and build homes and empires. That's how life works. Ellis Island, when all these immigrants came from Europe after the war, right? They built the wealth of America. They were workers. The black immigration is outrageous. The black immigration, there was no big black immigration. There was a black slavery. There's a history of tremendous suffering in the black people in the United States because they were not willing immigrants. They did not come to get better opportunities into the United States. They got into worse opportunities. Nobody wants to be a slave. And there's a tremendous story of slavery in the black community, which has never really been addressed by the government of the United States. There's never been any kind of restitution, I believe, to the black human for all that slavery that went on that really disturbed the black race. We are a species. The human species is a species of migration. It's a species of immigrants. We're always moving because of disasters. Like the early Americans, the white American, it started with the Pilgrims in 1607 in Jamestown, Virginia, who risked their lives crossing the Atlantic Ocean in wooden boats, right, to settle in the United States, which was rough and undeveloped, right, in order to escape religious prosecution. They wanted to practice their religion. The Pilgrims wanted to practice their religion. They risked their lives to do that. Right? There was also higher taxes in England, and less jobs and less economic opportunity. This is common to everybody in the world. When the Mexicans are trying to cross the border to come to the United States, they were kind of like the early pilgrims. They're just looking for an opportunity to prosper and to thrive. There is bad immigration. There is immigration of people who are lazy and lousy, want to profit off the welfare system, and there's the criminal type of immigration that's to be prevented. But most immigration is positive because you bring people into a land who want to work, who want to thrive. They're going to get a paycheck. They're going to spend the money. They're going to make the economy grow. The gross national product of a country grows with good immigration. People who are going to work, they're going to build enterprises, small businesses. Small businesses are going to become big businesses, and so forth. So immigration is a positive. It's not bringing in rats and cockroaches into the country, which there's a lot of this type of nationalism which happens in the human mind. Even the Native American Indian, the native that is supposed to be first here before the white people came, right? They come from Asia. They come from Mongolia. They crossed the Bering Strait somewhere to get down here in North America looking for better opportunities because there were problems in Mongolia. There were wars. There's famine. That makes people move. Whenever you're about to die, you're going to move to another place. Now, how many wars and how many famines and how many disasters have happened in the history, the 3 million year history of humanity? Tremendous amount. Immigration is the middle name of human life. Even the other big country to immigrate to the United States was Ireland. There was a big Irish potato famine at the time, and there was tremendous effects of poverty in Ireland, and a lot of Irish people decided to come to the United States. They're immigrant. They were poor immigrants just like the Mexicans. The original pilgrims and the original Irishmen who settled in the United States and who are now proud owners of the land of the United States were poor immigrants themselves. It is a hypocrisy to condemn poor immigrants when you come from poor immigrants yourself. Poverty and immigration are basically two strong aspects of the human species. We are mostly born poor in humanity. The wealthy are extremely rare. We're talking about 95, 99%. If you're talking about the entire humanity, 99% of humans are poor. And poverty brings to immigration. Poor people who come out of famine and war, they have no work, they cannot develop, they immigrate. They go to a place where maybe they could thrive there. And we need a good heart to poor immigration. We don't need a bad heart. We don't need to block out poor immigration. Immigration actually brings wealth to a country because it brings in people who are going to work real hard to thrive in a place, and they're going to make money, and they're going to spend money in the country. Every paycheck, every extra paycheck that happens in a country, every extra paycheck that is formed by a new business brings more money to the country. More wealth, more transactions, more profit, more money. When you block out immigration, you block out growth. You can block out bad immigration. There is such a thing. You don't want drug dealers and criminals getting into the country. That's no problem. But most immigrants are not criminal. And they're not lazy. They're ready to work. They sometimes work for nothing. I believe that Paradise, Good Planet, is based on a Star Trek type of humanity. A humanity that is united against its problems. And most human beings want the same things. They want a good life, an interesting career. They want a good mate of their own choosing, not of somebody else's choosing, right? They want to fulfill their dreams, right? Most human, we have 99% similar needs and wants in humanity. Well, why not unite and get everybody satisfied instead of fighting like cats and dogs about whose land this is and whose land isn't? We're all poor immigrants. We all come from fathers and mothers who were poor immigrants. Why can't we see the oneness of humanity instead of always seeing the division between humans?